Hello everybody, and it's that time again. It's time for another story time with Mr. G. So today's story is a great book called The Huge Bag of Worries, which is all about being worried about something, which we all are in some way. I'm scared of bananas. And it's all about how you can deal with those worries and how you can help each other by telling your teachers and your parents about your worries. And perhaps they won't be worries anymore. So with that said, let's get on with the book. So, this is Jenny. Jenny had always been happy. She had a lovely mum, a lovely dad, and a lovely brother. Well, sometimes he was lovely. She had a best friend at school, and she liked her teacher. And of course, there was always Loftus, her dog. But recently, Jenny started to get gloomier and gloomier. It wasn't just one thing, it was everything. She worried that she was getting too fat. She worried that Loftus had fleas. And she also worried that her best friend was going to go away. She was worried that she was getting bad marks at her school. And she thought she heard someone whispering naughty things about her in the playground. She worried when her mum and dad had an argument. She also worried about wars and bombs. Until one day she woke up to find a huge bag of worries. Now the bag followed her everywhere. It followed her to school, it followed her swimming, it followed her to the toilet, and it stuck by her even when she was watching TV. Now she tried to ignore her worries, but it didn't work. She tried throwing them away, but they just kept coming back. She tried to lock them out the door, but by the time she got to her bedroom, the worries were already there. It was like a horrible shadow that she couldn't get rid of. What could she do? She tried talking to her brother, but her brother turned around and said he was too busy playing his video game. And he said, "I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have any worries," he said. After that, she didn't feel like asking anybody else. She knew she'd only feel stupid. Mum would probably say, "You've got nothing to worry about. You've got your health, you've got your friends, you've got your family. What more do you want?" So she decided not to tell her mum. Dad might know what to do, she thought. But then she thought again, no, Dad has enough worries of his own. She couldn't ask him. But every day it got worse. The bag got bigger and bigger and bigger. So eventually she couldn't sleep because the big bag of worries kept tossing and turning all through the night, so she couldn't fall asleep. To make matters worse, the bag dragged at her feet, which meant when she was walking, it would slow her down, which meant she was late for school and her teacher was always cross with her. Jenny couldn't tell her what happened. And anyway, she knew what she would say. "You've got too many worries. Try and leave the bag at home." When Jenny told her best friend about the bag, she suggested to Jenny that they lock it in a cupboard and try not to think about it. So that's what she did. But it just didn't work. Even Loftus tried. He barked his best at the bag like mad, but the bag just stood still. Until one morning, Jenny woke up, she got dressed, walked down the road. She had enough. The tears started to fall down her cheeks. She sat on the garden wall and put her head in her hands. She thought she'd have to live with the bag for the rest of her life. Then she heard the voice of the kind old lady who lived next door. "My goodness," she said. "What on earth is that huge bag of worries?" Through her tears, Jenny explained how it had followed her for weeks and got bigger and bigger, and it just wouldn't go away. "Now, let's just open up and see what's inside," said the old lady. "Oh no," but Jenny said, "we can't do that. If she opened the bag, the worries might jump out, and who knew what might happen?" "Nonsense," said the old lady. "There's nothing a worry hates more than being seen. If you have any worries, however small, keeping them a secret is not a good idea. The big secret is letting them out slowly, one by one, and show them to someone. They'll soon go away. So Jenny opened up the bag. And the old lady sorted the worries into groups. Jenny was astonished to see how little they were on their own, especially when they were out in the open. Half the worries disappeared because they just ate the light of day. As for some, the old lady put in her shopping basket for her to deal with later. And some of them she sent packing to the right people because they belonged to someone else and they weren't Jenny's worries at all. And some she blew a kiss to and they floated away. And some, she said, were worries that everyone had. And even Jenny's family, her friends and teacher had them as well. And as for the bag, there were no worries left. And soon it whooshed away. And Jenny was left to be a happy little girl. The end. Well, I hope you enjoyed that story. And if you do have any worries, the best person to talk to is your mum, or maybe your dad, or your aunt or uncle, or perhaps your nana or granddad, or your teacher. Take care. I'll see you again soon. Bye.